Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake, what may be a very special episode. And I think it's going to be a special episode either way. For those of you watching on the YouTube, I do have my Kentucky sleeveless on, which may be one of the biggest guests in Wake and Jake history. We'll see. We've got some things against it. Karl Anthony Towns, he's an investor in John Boy Media. He's a big baseball guy, so we're hoping he can do a lap around the office, and if he can, we're hoping he can pop in and do Wake and Jake. If not, we still like him. We support Cat. And I have some good baseball shit for you, too. Sorry for the cussing, kids, but I'm feeling good right now for two reasons. One are the New York Yankees, and two is another American League team that needs to be talked about a lot. And I think there's a three hidden in that Rays fans, if you're here, hello. There might be some ricochet bullets your guys' way this morning. So let me aim wide with the thing that I think everybody should know, and then there will be a little Yankee loving. So if you're not up for that today, you could skip that part, I guess. The best team in baseball that nobody is talking about. I kind of did the surprise all-stars last episode, and you guys seem to like that, so good. Nobody's talking about the Texas Rangers, and it is a little disgusting, and I will tell you why. The Tampa Bay Rays got off to their electric start. Good, great, grand, wonderful, awesome. 35-15. For your Tampa Bay Rays. They lost last night. What a shame. The Rays were going to come back down to earth. The schedule was easy. Nobody really wanted to talk about it. Whatever. That's fine. The New York Yankees last year, they were 35-15. Same record as the Rays are right now. Yankees went on. They had one of the worst August evers. By the time they got to the playoffs, we hoped they were competitive, and they got swept by the Astros. So in a way, they were competitive. They survived the Guardians. Remember that? They had to come back from 2-1. You're like, Jake, you said you weren't starting with the Yankees. By the way, the Yankees went on and went nuts that June. The New York Yankees had a record of 49-16. The Yankees last year were 49-16. That's nuts. The Rays, think about how hot to trot we got about the Rays. They are 35-15. They would have to go 14-1 in their next 15 games to be as good as the Yankees were last season. So when we were talking historic Rays and how special that is, awesome, great, grand. It's baseball, man. And I think the Rays had the injury bug kick in a little bit, that they lost some pitchers and all that stuff. Their lineup is different than previous Rays teams. I think that's why it felt so different. The home runs and everyone mashing up and down the lineup. The Rays are really good. Guess what? So are the Yanks. So are the Orioles, who the Yankees beat last night. And so are the Texas Rangers, because I'm not the hugest run differential guy. I've talked about it here in Talking Baseball. It's a number. I do think over time it normally lands in a good place. I think this time of year it could be a little deceptive. You know, I don't really know what to do with the Cubbies right now in this same ilk, because the Cubbies are 21-26. They have a plus 26 run differential. So, I mean, is that just a couple timely blowouts? Is that, you know, even last night, part of the reason that I'm now coming to the table with this is the Blue Jays blew out the Rays 20-1 last night, something like that. I think 10 of those runs came off position players. So, you know, I think the future there should be a run differential plus or run differential 10, where if you beat a team by 10 runs, the numbers stop there. Because at a certain point, what are we doing, right? Like at a certain point, you're not throwing your top 7 relievers, like position players pitching. But with that being said, Tampa Bay Rays, their incredible start. Is Ray Mania. Are you about it? The best run differential in baseball is your Texas Rangers. Think about that. And the Texas Rangers, by the way, they are 30-18. So I think they, similar record to the Baltimore Orioles. They're 3 games back. I've been about the Birds for a while. But I'll say this. The Baltimore Orioles, I love their lineup and their bullpen. That's clearly their team identity. Yeah, we're going to talk about it all year. What is their starting pitching going to bring? And guess what? In the world of baseball, I don't know anymore. Going back to the Braves team that won the World Series and they threw out some basically opening starting pitchers. If the Orioles bullpen can be as special as it can be, sorry, Felix Bautista, Aaron Judge last night. Don't mind me. I love what the Orioles are about. I understand why you could be skeptical of them come October. They're not going to be able to put a 1, 2, and 3 on the mound that you really like to see to win a playoff series. And they haven't been there. So I get it. The Texas Rangers, the best run differential in Major League Baseball. They're better than the Rays. They're better than the Dodgers. I mean, it's better than the Yankees, Orioles, and Blue Jays combined. The Texas Rangers have been dominant. And we haven't given them the proper love because of the Houston Astros. Let's be honest. We all know the Astros are coming. And by the way, they're there. They're 2 games back. And think about what high regards we truly do keep the Houston Astros in. They've been to the ALCS the past 6 years. They're the defending World Series champions. Okay? They're a factory. They've now let Springer, Correa, Verlander go. Not a problem. They are a factory. They were without Jose Altuve. He's back. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've got another A's series coming up. They're going to be neck and neck with these Texas Rangers. And let's be honest, we're going to find out who the Texas Rangers are, right? Because we know a lot of the guys. You know who Marcus Semien is. He kind of played the Oakland A's card the right way. He got a chance to be their shortstop when a lot of other teams wouldn't. Put in the work, got a lot better, got himself positioned where he ended up getting that 1-year deal with Toronto, rakes for a year, gets the big boy deal with Texas. You're wondering what that deal is going to look like because his career numbers look very different than recent Marcus Semien. He comes out, he has a brutal start last year, great finish. The season numbers on the whole are good, but he is now back at it. Fangraphs has him as the 3rd best player in baseball this year. Corey Seager's been out. Go check out that guy's stats. When he plays, he's incredible. And he was one of the number 1 shift guys. So if he keeps playing, his stats are going to be above what Corey Seager's normal career stats are. Nathaniel Lowe is good. Like that, put that t-shirt in the merch store. Adolis Garcia, basically same, man. Maybe better than good. Fangraphs has him as the 7th best player in baseball this year. How's your thick neck Josh Young? Was a joke on Talking Baseball. Guy's a big prospect. He's been killing it this year, and he looks the part. Jonah Heim behind the dish. I don't know. Part of me didn't want to believe it. Switch hitting tall boy catcher? He looks great. And even if he's not great, he's a catcher that they traded for Mitch Garver. He's been hurt. I think that's part of the reason everyone was skeptical of Jonah Heim. It was kind of like he fell into it a little bit, it felt like. And they moved IKF, their Gold Glove winning infielder, for Mitch Garver. Anyways, Zeke Duran's been playing really well for them. Leody Tavares, another kid. But, we're talking 8-9 hitters, and Robbie Grossman's been participating. Backyard Brad is around. We're talking about the bottom 3 in the lineup. You're getting contributions. You're going to get more than that. They're first in runs scored. Is that good? Yes. First in batting average, second in on-base and OPS. Their starting pitching, they are 4th in ERA. Just a reminder, they purchased a whole starting pitching staff. Do you remember the sad sack Rangers from a couple years ago? They traded Lance Lynn for Dane Dunning. Dane Dunning was like they were hoping was going to be their like top of the rotation guy. He's now been a fill-in swing piece for them. And by the way, he's been incredible. Dane Dunning's killing it. He almost made my knockoff All-Stars team. I almost made a swingman reliever starter spot for Dane Dunning. I don't know what arm he throws with. I do now. He's righty. Eovaldi has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. Didn't necessarily know that, but I thought he'd be good. Martin Perez has been okay. John Gray has been good. Heaney has been good. This is without Jacob deGrom, right? Who's supposed to be, if I told you the Texas Rangers look like a threat this year, you would have banked on deGrom, right? I don't know. If they have the best offense, it very much seems they're on the let's find a way to get deGrom healthy for October. And if he is, I don't know, number one offense and deGrom come October, that sounds like a good formula. This team shelled out money, dude. Semien, Seager, the whole rotation, including deGrom. If there's a move to be made at the trade deadline, do you not think this team will do it? They've done it the past two free agencies. They have a little bit of prospect capital. The Texas Rangers are for real. They got overshadowed by Tampa's hot start. They got overshadowed, I don't know, kind of in the offseason by like the New York Mets and the Padres, because those teams were just a little flashier. They get overshadowed out west by the Astros, and properly so. We've all been kind of skeptical of what's going on in Texas. And if you're a run differential person, if you believe in good offense and good starting pitching, which put that in my analytics binder, the bullpen, the ERA is not good. The whip is middle of the pack. But if, that's a position that, can you add that at the trade deadline? Pretty easily, yes. Could you have a starting pitcher kick to the bullpen? The John Boy fantasy? This team is real, and I think we definitely have a case of not respecting the uniform because the Texas Rangers, they've been a little irrelevant for the past few years. And our guy Trevor Plouffe, who's nice to everything baseball because he's a leader of the game. He was kind of against the Texas Rangers because they gave him a raw deal with one of his last contracts. So whenever he had the opportunity to jab, he did jab. In the NBA right now, there was a clear best team in basketball, the Denver Nuggets, that look like they are on a path to win the NBA title. Why were people reluctant to pick the Denver Nuggets? Because that uniform ain't done anything. It's true. Have you seen some of the Woody Page tweets going around?
I haven't seen those tweets, but I know it's their first finals appearance.
So I follow Tony Reale, partially because I grew up on Around the Horn, and people forget he was the stat guy for PTI to start. He tweeted out some pictures, Talking Yanks fan Tony Reale. Part of the reason I follow him on social media, if I'm being honest. He tweeted out an old picture of Woodrow Page covering BBD. I mean, you're gonna like this. Go to Tony Reale. I think it's put on the screen worthy. It's Woody Page covering the ABA basketball Nuggets. Woody Page has covered 47 years of Nuggets basketball. This is their first time going. Pictures now on the screen for the YouTube. This is their first time going dancing. And let's just be honest, you don't believe it. And why would you until the Nuggets actually go? They feel like a video game team. We talk about this, and you understand the reference if you play video games. If you ever do a fantasy draft with, like, the Jaguars, that feels kind of kooky. The Phoenix Suns in basketball used to kind of feel that way, right? as Woodrow moves across the screen. The Nuggets were by and far. I picked the Nuggets to win the NBA title. When we did a John Boy Media social video, Kyle was pretty tuned into basketball, told Jimmy to pick the Nuggets because Jimmy asked who's going to win, and he said the Nuggets because they're the best team. The Texas Rangers, up until this point, and there's going to be a lot of baseball, and there's going to be so many more injuries, and there's going to be so many more ups and downs of the baseball season. The Texas Rangers, up until May 24th, are looking the part as one of the best teams in baseball. And it passes the current sniff test. Will that continue? It depends on injuries and a lot of other things. Like, you got to be honest. Did I say a team I liked coming into the season, the Pittsburgh Pirates? I said they could be last year's Orioles. They got off to an incredible start. I said they were going to come down, and they have. And I think they will. They're going to battle. They're going to battle. I'm not saying that with Texas. They can go and continue to do this. Like, they were missing Seager. He's back. He's supposed to be like the best hitter on their team. The Texas Rangers are very for real. I hope teams start talking about them more. And I hope Houston and Texas becomes a rivalry. That would be really fun for baseball. Texas is super proud. That picture you have up of Woody is obviously iconic to me. What's it say? Little Wayne meet Big Woody. Yeah, I mean, that's right where you want to be, Woodrow. Woodrow, what do you know? He's an all-timer, Hall of Famer. So that's my best team that nobody is talking about. A little bit of Yankees. Again, I told you guys last week I did Jakey revealed last night. I talked about my weird 5-iron experience, Cougines, Tiki Barber. You guys seem to like it. Last night, not as electric. Jess, away, went to her friend's beach house for 2 nights in Jersey. Good. Go relax. Take the edge off. What does that mean for me? Problems, kind of. If a friend invites me out to happy hour, do I get happy hour and a beer with my friend? Or do I go home and the dog watches me eat? Last night, I went home and the dog watched me because I was planning on going to the Yankee game with Joe's, who told me I had a ticket. He then told me at 3 p.m. he did not have a ticket for me. And I said, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to take a night to me. I'm going to enjoy it. I ordered my favorite Chinese food. I was going to watch the Yanks. Real treat for little Jaco over here. Take a nibble of the weed gummy. It helps with my glaucoma. I'm watching the Yanks. And the Yankees go down to the Orioles. And the first inning was my least favorite Yankee inning in a while. Garrett Cole mows down the first 2 Orioles hitters. It's looking like it's going to be one of those 2023 innings that's almost too quick. I was getting ready to fire up a, did the inning even start? Because he gets Mullins on 3 pitches. He gets Rushman on 2 pitches. So we've got the 2 best players on the Orioles, 5 pitches in, 2 outs. Here's Santander. Strike 1, strike 2. 0-2 to Santander. 7 pitches in. Garrett Cole on the bump. Off day yesterday. Fully rested bullpen. These new Yankees. Big series. Breathe, Jake. He walks on Santander on 7 pitches. He walks Mountcastle on 7 pitches. And then who is it? Adam Frazier doubles. Goes off of Judge's glove. It was a tough play, but Judge... He's now done this a couple times this year where he's gotten there. He's just missed the catch. It's not shots fired. They've been hard plays, but it's just...
Like, it would have been a very nice play.
Yeah, it would have, for Michael Kay, it would have been, oh, what a play by Judge. But, like...
Oh, a sparkler.
Judge does that. He has that in the bag. That it went off like the left pinky of the glove, which, full extension running backwards, that can happen. But think about where we were 2 pitches ago, or 2 batters ago. Cole was going to be out of this inning, and now Cole's throwing a bunch of pitches. I think it's a 27-pitch first inning. So basically, you're wasting a Cole start. You don't know what the rest of his day is going to look like, and 2 runs are on the board to a good Orioles team, like accidentally. And then on the flip side, the Yankees come up, and this is what I love. These Yankees have been punching back when it matters. Top first, Kyle Bradish on the mound. Gleyber Torres, 7-pitch walk. Yes, Pop. I love it. Judge comes up after him, 4-pitch walk. Welcome to Yankee Stadium, Bradish. Let's put up a big inning. Let's take the lead. Rizzo's coming up. Strikes out Rizzo. DJ double play ball. We're out of it. So, 2 on, no outs for the Yankees. 0 runs. Orioles, 2 outs, 0-2. They put up 2 runs, and it's like, damn, the first inning is a real pivot inning in a baseball game. I think we know that, but we also don't know that. Because know what I was telling myself on the couch last night? If a pitcher comes out and throws an awesome first inning, we all go, oh, shoot. Like, damn, that was sick. I think one of the most impressive performances in baseball history, which is incredibly ironic, is the Pedro All-Star game, where he comes out and he looks as good as a pitcher can look against some of the best hitters in baseball. I know it's an exhibition, but, it's there's a reason that's special. Guys coming out of the bullpen and having first inning struggles, we've seen that. They quoted Andy Pettitte on the broadcast last night. They're like, that first inning, you got to settle in and find your stuff, Pop. Andy didn't say that. I might have added the Pop.
That's also the nerds got that one a little right. Oh, the best hitters are kind of guaranteed to hit in that inning?
You've got the best hitters coming up, and you've got a starting pitcher that hasn't settled in. It's a pretty basic formula that makes sense. And think about it. If you see Garrett Cole look like completely wipe out in the 5th inning, and it's the middle of the lineup, you're like, ooh, nice, Cole looks sharp. If Cole does that in the 1st inning, you're like, oh, it could be a special night.
Day.
So I don't know. That was something that I hadn't fully computed. Anyways, back to the Yanks. They go down 3-0. Cedric Mullins hits a homer. That dude is a banger and a problem. I mean, seriously. Did you see his bases loaded numbers? I think he was like, it was early in the season, but he was like 4 for 5 with the bases loaded. Like,
that's this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And didn't he miss? He missed another homer in this game, or was it one of the other lefties?
He gave one a ride.
When was that?
It was later. Because he had already homered the once.
So that was after his first homer. So when was that? That wasn't the 5th inning. Was that the 6th, 7th? Let me find it. Mullins walked.
Confident was Mullins.
Right, or was it another lefty? Was it like Santander? Either way, it was at a point when the Orioles were up because it would have like essentially ended the game.
Adley has a fly out.
Maybe it was Dadley.
7th.
Oh, no. It's top 6. Mullins flies out to right to end the inning.
Yes. I thought it ended an inning.
And there was runners on. Oh, his bases loaded.
That's when we saw.
Would have ended the game. Would have ended the game. The Orioles would have went up 9-4. Yankee Stadium, fly ball to right field. Different part of the bat. It's probably a homer. So with his bases loaded numbers, Yankee Stadium, Marinaccio. That's right.
Yeah, he's a hair earlier on it or something.
Yeah. And by the way, talk about the life of a reliever. That ball goes out. Ron Marinaccio's in the shitter. That ball stays in. It's like, okay, Ron Marinaccio, Tom's River, got a big out for the team. Reliever life is crazy. Still running hot. Let me get back to it. The Orioles were up 4-0. Gunnar Henderson hits a homer. You see why he's the number 1 prospect. Didn't look like he got it great, and it goes into the right field bullpen. You say, okay, that's who you are, huh? 4-0. Birds are up. Bader homer. This guy.
I love this
This guy is locked in. I'm sure there's going to be a slump coming. He actually just kind of had a mini one.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do some butter knifing.
4-1. Okay, that's fine. Next inning. Bottom of the lineup. Oswaldo Cabrera, single. Gleyber Torres, single. Judge lines out to left. 2 strikes. Was a pitch he shouldn't have gotten to. He still got a fat part of the bat on it. I loved it. I don't think you'll hear people reminiscing about that Judge out too much. Really liked it. Rizzo doubles. Locked in, man. DJ gets a big single that gets him off the schneid. He's been slumping. I think he was like 1 for 21. Puts it in the hole. Big RBI hit. Bader sack fly. Underrated. 2 strikes on him. Got himself in a tough spot. Put a charge into it. Willie Calhoun fouls out to third. Tie game. 4-4. I mentioned that bases loaded situation. Cole, single to start the inning. Tough. Henderson, infield single. Nubber off the end of the bat. And you're like, damn, Marinaccio thought he locked in here, but now he might get screwed. RBI ground out. And then he gets the fly out. The Mullins one I referenced it. It's 5-4. And by the way, we're now into Baltimore's big boy bullpen. These guys, they didn't pitch the last game against Toronto, and they had an off day. So they had Yenier Cano, who's been the best reliever in baseball, if not second best to the guy behind him in the bullpen, Felix Bautista. So you got to put one up. They give Cano a battle. Gleyber, another single to start an inning. That guy is winning my heart back. Rizzo singles. Gleyber goes to third. They don't send him, which also you put in the bucket of Gleyber. And the Yes broadcast did a fantastic job. I was ready to rip Gleyber because I assumed he got a bad jump. It was clearly a bloop single, and it was going to drop. It was clearly. If you've watched baseball, you just know that ball's getting down even though it's a bloop, and you should maybe hesitate a little. Gleyber ran instantly. He got held up, and he probably should have got held up. Austin Hayes had a great read on the ball in left field, and Gleyber isn't quick. He's just not.
Not a burner. I've seen Austin Hayes throw a lot of Yankees out at home.
If Gleyber Torres got a bad jump on that, he would have been toast. Yes, showed a really good replay. He got a perfect jump. He still would have been toast. And if you want to hold that against Gleyber for not being fast, you can. He did everything he could in that moment. I've been tough on Gleyber recently. They held him up. DJ tries to bunt. Yankee fans lose their mind. Your cleanup hitter, 2-time batting title. Judge,
theoretically just had an RBI single.
Just had the hit that you hoped broke him out. Booney kind of made it very apparent by not making it apparent that DJ operated alone there.
Yeah, I've seen some more articles this morning. They're like, yeah, Boone did not call that.
Yeah. Booney said DJ did that on his own. And then he came back, and at the end of the interview, someone was like, so wait, did DJ do that on his own? And Boone said, you'll never know, which was very little kid petty. But DJ did that on his own, which sends you into a whole conversation about bunts that is still running, and I'm still recalculating all of my thoughts. It's a skill that nobody practices, and pitchers throw a ton harder, and it doesn't always work. Anyways.
Want to get good at it, sure.
So this is against, again, Cano, who's been one of the best pitchers. So that's probably also DJ's thought process. If you interviewed DJ and you got honest thoughts out of him, he's saying, this guy's been the best reliever. I haven't, seen him. So I'll just get this run across. I'd assume that's what it was. I don't know. You'll never get it out of him.
You'll never know.
Bader comes out, gets a first pitch fastball, grounds out, whatever. You go into the 8th inning, Jake Bauers pinch hit double, fire me up. I thought Paul O'Neill had a good point. It felt like pinch hitting's better. I think it's become so much more a part of the sport that guys are starting to get a little better at it. I don't know. It's a theory.
I'd be curious in checking out some year-over-year numbers.
My guy Oswaldo comes up, change-up from Cano, who's got the best, maybe second best change-up. 0-2, and he's in a tough spot, and he hasn't had a great year. And Volpe had a couple at bats I didn't like. Let me just wrap this up. Judge homers 0-2 off Batista. He hangs a splitter. Awful pitch by him, but it's also been the most productive pitch in baseball, so I get why he threw it. Judge kind of smiles rounding first, like he's got a little almost Jordan shrug. Not fully there. The Yankees used Michael King in the ninth to hold the lead, which BBD saw the Talkin' Yanks chat was skeptical about. I supported if they came back and won. And guess what? Judge ties it. King can come back out for the 10th now, so you can use him for his second inning, which helps make him be so special. Strikeout, line out, little Volpe hop.
Nice play.
Yankees win the extra inning game. Volpe gets the sac fly walk-off. It's his first walk-off as a Yankee, and the guys were trying to play that up, but it kind of sucked because it was obviously extra inning weird baseball. Here's what I'll say. Aaron Judge is electric and has an argument to be the best player in baseball with Shohei on any given year, and I think last year he was more valuable than him. The Yankees missed Judge badly when he was out. That's obvious. They missed Bader when he was out. That's obvious. Not as obvious as I thought. Harrison Bader is really good. He is really good. The kids haven't gone yet for the Yanks. I'm super interested to see what happens. Volpe has a couple things that are concerning me. And hey, it could still be we're less than 2 months in. He's going to make the adjustments. I don't know if that's standing closer to the plate. I don't know if it's a 2-strike swing. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe he just needs to see more pitches, and he doesn't have to change anything. He's Anthony Volpe. He's a sick pup, and he's going to be incredible. He hasn't gone yet. Oswaldo Cabrera has been really bad. I kind of like him. I think he's going to be streaky. Maybe he's not. The Yankees can change there. Willie Calhoun still in the middle of the lineup. Didn't feel right. And that can be Giancarlo Stanton in a week. That could be a Jock Peterson at a deadline. I don't know. I feel better about this Yankees team. It's tough to say because I obviously get excited about any Yankees team.
Every year we have a time where we feel really happy about the team.
I think there's a chance. The energy that I feel, I would probably relate to 2019. 2017 upstart Yankees, that was a unique one-time packaged Yankees. 18, goddamn Sox. 19, the Yankees were expected to be kind of favorites and go. And was the Astros stuff out by then? So
no, it was after that.
It was
season.
right after that season, but the Yankees as a franchise kind of knew. I don't know. That was the Yankees like, we're really good. We could have won in 17. Let's win it in 19. They didn't. I don't know, man. This team is not out of any game. Like, the Yankees, even last year when they got off to that better than the Rays start, by the way, they had some come from behind, and they were good. And I like them, obviously. The energy right now is they don't care. Down 4 early. They do not care. We haven't seen Rodon. He's starting to throw. He's supposed to be their second best starting pitcher. I'm falling head over heels for this Yankees team, which I think means 2 things. 1 good, 1 bad. 1, I think I really believe in this Yankees team. The bad news is, if I'm being honest with myself, think about who I am and just silly-wise, and like we do a lot of stuff with DraftKings. I didn't bet the Yankees to win the World Series this year. And just think about who I am as a person and like literally our relationship with DraftKings. I should be betting that every year. Like, if you really think about it.
Yeah, that should be a funny tweet every year. They're like, oh, I'll drop $50 every year on Yanks win the World Series.
You know, I bet the Cardinals to win the Central. Like, half silly, half like there's a path, and I think it can happen. I don't think I really thought the Yankees could win the World Series. Now I kind of do. So, that was a lot, and I was running hot. This coffee is clearly slapping this morning.
Before you move on from the
Yes.
Yanks, I do have the Bader already had a slump numbers. First 8 games, incredible, 429 average, 1.3 OPS. Then he has an 8-game run, really 7 games. One of those games he comes in as a defensive replacement, 9th inning, no at-bats. But 7 games of a 294 OPS, 3 for 26. So he already had the slump. He's on a 4-game heater right now.
But I guess what I'm seeing that feels different is that everyone's at bats feel locked in.
Yeah.
That's why I was mad at Volpe last night. He had one at bat, and by the way, it was like a 6 or 7 pitch at bat. No one replied to me in Talking Yanks chat. I hated the at bat. Volpe went up 2-0. He got 2 heaters in the zone, and he couldn't do anything with them. And it was kind of the same stuff he's been doing. Like, it felt like he's trying to do too much or uppercut him. And then he ends up getting out, and he hits a fly out to left, I believe, that he puts like a nice part of the bat on, but it's only an out. Like, in the major leagues, that swing will only produce an out. Like in minor league, if the fastball was a little less or a little more middle, maybe that's a homer. Major leagues, that's going to be an out. So that's, I don't know, Jakey pretending to be a scout on my couch again, a little high that's all pouring out now.
At the game, I couldn't tell at bat quality as well, you know. But
He
can't see pitches from where I was sitting.
Anthony Volpe has shown us everything we need to see at this point. He has to make some adjustments, as does every young player in baseball. Adley Rutschman got off to a slow start. Remember that? Now he's sick. Okay, this could be the end of the episode, and it was electric if it was. Or we could have our biggest guest ever. So see you in a sec, or not.
Yep, guys, if you looked at the time remaining, you probably figured it out. No Karl Anthony Towns today, but he's coming back in June, so we're going to try to have him on the show then. Until then, we love you. Bye.